I'm Peter Sidwell and welcome to my kitchen. Today I've got the most delicious one pot wonder dish for you and your family. We're going to make a delicious Tuscan stew with orzo pasta. Super simple and absolutely delicious. First thing we need to do is get some olive oil into our pan, and then we're going to get our veggies in. So we're actually using chicken breast today because in one of my other recipes we broke a chicken down. I used the chicken thighs, so I now want to use the chicken breast. So they're out the freezer and we are ready to go. So we're going to start off with an onion. We're just going to get the base of everything going. Okay, so onion, we've got fennel, carrots and sweet potato. So loads of veggies in here, nice and healthy, all in one pan, super easy. Right, let's get our onions in. Okay, while the pan starts to get hot, let's get our carrots. So I've got 2 carrots, 2 sweet potato, and a bulb of fennel. Fennel is sort of one of my favorite ingredients, so if you don't like it, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But it works really, really well with tomato and red wine and chicken. It's just lovely. Usually, if you don't like fennel, it's because you've had a really bad experience with some form of aniseed liqueur as a teenager, is what I generally find. Yeah, if you've had a bad Pernod experience, or raki, or ouzo on holiday, you'd be like, oh, can't bear it, and it just takes you right back to your drinking days, I should imagine. But it will just blend in, and they all kind of get on really well in the pan, and one pan cooking is all about just finding all those lovely flavours that work together. And then the recipe works for you. Okay. Right, in with our fennel. Now we've got some carrots. This will give us a little bit of sweetness. And also we've got some sweet potatoes as well, which again will give us some sweetness. I just think the more veggies you can get in, the better it is for you. What was it they reckon? 30 plants a week now, don't they, you're supposed to eat? Yeah. It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Suppose that's what? 5 a day? Less than 5 a day?
Less than 5 a day. 4 and a bit a day, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know whether that's different ones.
Oh, okay.
Can't be 30 different plants, can it?
I don't think there's that many vegetables to like.
Oh, you might have opened a whole can of worms there, Emily.
Well, for me personally, I do like vegetables. See, I can eat vegetables
Yeah, I know
raw.
you eat them all day long, don't you?
Raw peppers, tomatoes,
Yeah.
cucumber. I can get my vegetables quite easily.
Get your 5 a day in, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, so we'll just chop the carrots up nice and fine into little pieces. You could grate it in if you wanted to, but knife's out, so we're chopping. Okay, so that is our carrot straight in. Nice bit of colour, bit of sweetness. And then sweet potato, just going to top and tail. Not necessarily like a normal addition to an Italian dish, but I just thought it would be really nice. And it'll add a little bit of sweetness, balance it all out. Apparently they're packed full of vitamin C, sweet potatoes, so it's good enough for me. So just kind of chop them into really thin, almost like chips. And then we're just going to dice them. Good for the kids. Another vegetable in. I don't think sweet potato is technically a potato, is it? It's a vegetable.
Potatoes are vegetables.
No, they're not, are they? There's something else.
Right.
What's the technical term for a potato? Go on, you're going to have to Google that, Emily. It's not technically a vegetable, is it? It's some. Is it a tuber? Is it a tuber? Sorry, Emily's not on camera, you see, so she can Google and find out and be right or wrong.
Well, you're not far off.
I'm not far off, am I?
Solanum tuberosum.
Right.
So tuber, yeah.
A tuber,
Tuber, yeah.
as opposed to a vegetable, technically.
Yeah, it's a starchy tuberous vegetable.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
There you go. Every day's a school day.
you're not as daft as you look.
Well, I didn't quite know. I almost knew. Okay, so sweet potatoes. In we go. Right. Just grab a little cloth. I'm going to clean this. Right, okay, so I've got bulb of garlic. I'm just going to cut the top off like that. I'm going to put the whole thing in because I'm going to squeeze it. As it cooks, it's going to get all soft and squidgy. And then what we'll do is we'll lift it out, let it cool a little bit, and then squeeze it back in so you get that really rich garlic flavour. Okay, so I've also got Parmesan here. I'm going to cut the rind off the Parmesan. This is like an umami boost of flavour, okay? So we're going to add that in, and then we'll fish it out later. Right, let's grab the chicken.
Oh, we've got that to go in.
So we got 2 chicken breasts. So I used the legs and thighs on previous recipes. So I think it's always really good to be able to create recipes that use up the whole chicken. So I'm going to take the skin away because I don't want that. I don't need it. And then there's a couple of little fillets off the chicken here.
Did you know that they're called the goujon?
Well, I probably did. I mean, a goujon is when it's cut into its... You cut a goujon.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they were actually called...
I think it was a TikTok or something because it's the shape of the goujon. I think that's
Yeah.
where the name chicken goujons came from.
Right, yeah, that would make sense, yeah. There you go, you see? TikTok. People use TikTok now as their sort of search engine, don't they, almost?
Yeah. Which we really shouldn't, but...
Well... We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to put the lid on my pan. That will stop it frying. It just means the veggies are going to start to cook. The steam will stay inside. So when I lift that up, all the steam comes out. But if you put your lid down, keeps the steam in, keeps the moisture while we prepare this chicken. So all I'm going to do is cut it into sort of little pieces, say 2 centimetre cubes. And I think like this recipe is 2 chicken breasts would feed 4 people. There's quite a lot of chicken there. And all the veggies and everything else, I think it's quite an economical way of cooking this. So, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there, ready to go in, but not yet. Okay, let's wash my hands. Okay. Right, what I've got here as well is, I've got some parsley. We're going to make a nice little dressing that kind of finishes off the dish. But that'll be with the leaf. But with the stalk, a lot of the times people just throw it out. But what I want to do is cook with it. So I'm going to chop it really nice and fine. So in tiny little pieces. And once we get to the leaf, I'm going to stop, put that back to one side. And then we're going to put our chopped parsley stalks in. It's like so. Okay, so we're going to get all the flavour and all the goodness. Let's get the chicken in now. So the veggies have kind of had their heads up. They will take longer than the chicken does. So I've given those a bit of cooking time first. Okay. Now we'll add the chicken in, and all the veggies are going to keep the chicken nice and moist. Okay. Nice. So let's recap, okay? So we've got our onions in there, we've got our fennel in there, we've got carrots, sweet potatoes, a little bit of olive oil and some salt cooking away there. Then we've added in a head of garlic, we've just chopped the top off. We've added in diced up 2 chicken breasts. And then we've, that's it, isn't it? Oh, we've added the rind from the parmesan. And parsley stalks, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is make a bit of space so I can see the bottom of the pan. Can you see that, Emily? Yeah. Yeah? In with some red. Okay. That'll do. So now we've stopped frying. We're now poaching, and we're going to stew. And we want all that red wine to come up to the boil, and it's just going to bring all the fried flavours in the pan, off the pan and into the dish.
What would you suggest if he doesn't like red wine?
What's wrong with you?
Well,
No, if you don't want to add alcohol into it, I mean, you do boil the alcohol away, but obviously if you don't drink alcohol, you probably haven't got it in the house. I would just add extra stock to it. I wouldn't worry about it massively. So we're going to add a little bit of dried oregano in there. That's going to give a nice bit of flavour.
a dried herb?
Dried oregano's all right. There aren't many dried herbs that I like, but they're all right. Okay, so the red wine's boiling down. I've got passata here. Okay, so no chunks. My son Thomas will be very approving of this. So this is just crushed tin tomatoes, but it's been passed. So all the seeds are gone. What we're now going to do is fill this with water. Okay, so what we do is the water will just lift off all the excess tomato in there, but we need a bit more liquid in there because we're trying to make a nice stew. Okay. Then I've got 2 chicken stock cubes. Okay. And they're just going to give us a really nice depth of flavour in there. And that's it. Okay. We haven't got a lot of cooking left in this. All we now need to do is put the lid on and simmer that for half an hour until the chicken is cooked. The vegetables will be cooked at the same time, and then we're going to finish it with a little bit of orzo, which is like pasta that looks like rice. It's really, really nice. But the secret is not to add too much, and don't add it too early. Okay, chicken has just been simmering away nicely. Let's lift that lid off. And what we should be able to find, remember we put that whole garlic in there. Let's make sure we fish that out so that we can squeeze it back in when we're done. Also, I'm going to get rid of the parmesan crust as well, because as much flavour as that gives you, you do not want to be tucking into that. Or maybe you do, I don't know. Right, okay, so we've got the chicken. It's all rich, lovely and delicious. I want to just freshen it up and lighten it up, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to kind of make a dressing, if you like. I'm going to add some mini capers. So they're like little pickled buds like that, yeah. But they're like, they give a bit of acidity and a little bit of bite, and they just kind of cut through things, which I love. And then what we're going to do is add some lemon juice, squeeze it through your hand and catch those pips. And it's almost like a warm dressing that you would add to a salad, really. Right. And then we're just going to freshen it up with some flat leaf parsley, because we put the stalks in there, you remember? And then let's just chop that up. There we go, straight in the bowl. Let's give that a little mix. Maybe a touch more olive oil just to get that kind of balance. You want about 1/3 lemon, 2/3 oil. And that's just going to cut through beautifully. A little bit of freshness to go with it. Okay, and by now, our garlic is cool enough to handle. So all I'm going to do is just squeeze those nuggets of garlic in. Look at that. And if you're really lucky, you'll get one. Or you can just kind of mash them up. Stir it all together. There we go. And that's just a really lovely, simple, warming one-pot dish. Our orzo pasta is in there. You know, all our veggies are in there. And then we've got this delicious caper, herb, and lemon dressing, which will just work beautifully. There you go. That is how you make the most delicious one-pot Mediterranean chicken stew, finished with a herb and caper salsa.